Welcome back, guys. Well, we're going to do some work on Miss Purdy. We've got some new wheels. We're waiting almost a year for these things, and that's the beasts right there. Classic Raiders. Yeah, I'm sure that badge will probably cause some issues with some people. I don't know. The first time I saw it, I thought it was the Chaos logo from Get Smart. All it needs is the little the planet Earth just under his claws. But anyway, obviously they're the copy of the RDWs, but you know, those ones are getting really hard to find. Yeah, we ordered them, and you know, with COVID and shipping and all these issues, we finally got them. So problem is, of course, the rear hubs that I've running on these are Type 3, and of course the Type 3 wheel nuts are the same as a Beetle. They're 12mm, not 14mm. So you'll find here that you have a larger hole, and I didn't like the idea of running a spacer in there or just running off the mushroom itself or the cone. So we're going to drill out the hubs and re-tap them to 14mm, and then we can just run the standard 14mm wheel nuts. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take off the hubs and go from there. So the next problem we've got is what tyres to put on the rear, because obviously I've got some brand new tyres there for the fronts, and they're the Maxxis 175 by 65 15s, which is exactly what's on there right now at the front. Now the rears I've got on here now are a 175 80 by 15, and that's obviously a taller profile so that we don't end up with positive camber, because it is a straight axle conversion. Now the problem is we have a ton of room here, and you can see underneath the guard you've got all this room here. So I want to try to get the offset. Now the rims, the new rims are a 20mm offset, so they are going to be further out anyway, but the problem we've got is the spring plate's really close to the tyre. Now I'll just show you. I'll have to climb underneath to show you this, but if you have a look here, you can see here, if I try and put my finger between the tyre and the spring plate, I can't actually get my finger in here properly. So there's not a lot of room. There's probably only about, I reckon 7mm. But yeah, with a 20mm offset coming back out, I'm thinking of going with a 215 tyre, 215 by 75, or a 205. So I'm gonna order both sets of tyres and just see which one will work, which one will have the clearance. But hopefully it'll just kind of fill out the guard here a little bit, because it's just, you know, there's a lot of room there. It'd be nice to have it a bit further out. Anyway, so for now, let's take off the drums and drill them out and re-tap them to a 14. There we go. Always 2 forms of safety, sometimes even 3. Alright, we'll get the hubcap off. Might as well take the split pin off while we're here. Now, let's go on get the handbrake off, otherwise we'll have all sorts of issues. Okay, so we've got our drum. What we're going to do now is take it over to the drill press, and we're going to set this up on the drill press and drill these holes out to a 14. So we've got our little setup up here. Alright, so we're ready to drill them out. So, the reason we put the tap in here and just fed it in by hand was to make sure that these are going in dead straight. You can't do them by hand and just, you know, wishful thinking that they're going to go in square, because if they go in on a slight angle, you're going to have all sorts of problems with the wheel nuts, you know, seating and bedding properly. So it's quite critical you've got a nice flat surface that's level, and then, you know, you can see I haven't gone all the way through, but I've started all the threads. So now I can take this off, I can go and put it on the bench, and I can drive the rest of them in by hand, knowing that they're going to go in square because they're already started nice and square on here. So that's the theory behind this. So, all right, let's take it off, go and put it on the bench and keep going. Okay, so making sure our tap is nice and clean. You know, taps snap all the time, and it's because people don't use them properly. So you've got to make sure they are lubricated properly, and you don't go and force them. I'm just going to use, I haven't got the actual tap thingo, whatever you want to call it, the handle part, so I just use this guy here. Just use the Stilsons like that. Make sure you put lubrication on it, because that is important. Otherwise, you know, you just wear out the tap or snap it, and then off we go. We can start. You'll see here this already wants to go in where it is. There we go, taking up the rest of it. Now, because we've got the lubrication in there, there's not a lot of strain going on this. If you do get to a point where you feel it start to get really stiff, back it off, and what that will do is actually expel the junk into the little cavities in the side, and then you go forward again and start cutting again. Don't just keep going forward, because that's when you'll snap the tap if it's a smaller diameter than this. Just back it off one turn and then keep going forward. And because the tap is tapered, you'll find as it gets to the middle part of the tap, that's when it's going to be at its right dimensions. And there we go, now we've gone past it. Well, let's go down a few turns further and then you can back it out. And it should come out nice and easy like it's doing. Just catch it towards the end there. There we go. So now we've got a nice tap. So then, same deal again, brush out the crap. You just don't want that interfering with your nice beautiful new threads. And move on to the next one. Oh, lubrication again. Because there's always time for lubrication, as you know. Just make sure you gently put it in so it finds its ones from before. There they are. And off we go. Now, one thing when you're tapping holes, make sure you use the appropriate size drill bit beforehand, and most of the time you can find that just online. You know, if you've got an 8mm tap, it'll tell you that you need to use a, you know, whatever size, whatever it is, 6.5 or whatever. But you know, you've got to use the right size tap. That's really important, or the right size drill, I should say. And if you do, you'll see you're not fighting it. You know, it's going through a whole heap of steel there, and that was, you know, quite an easy job. No problem at all. So same deal again. Brush her off. There's our new 14 by 1.5 threads, and you'll see that they'll go in. But we're going to do one more step. One more step is we want to put a little bit of a chamfer on the top edge of these, because when you're trying to get a wheel nut in, you'll find it just won't want to centre. So we'll go and take this back to the drill press, and I'll show you what we're going to do over there. Got these little tools here. And I think this one might be yeah, that one's going to be better. We'll just stick this in, go around and give them a little chamfer. And there you have it, folks. Nice little bevel, and that'll just help the wheel nut go into its spot. We can blow this off now and get her ready to put her back into the vehicle. Okay, so put the wheel back on, put the hub back on, and yeah, you can see there's the new wheel. Obviously we're waiting on tyres, so we can't mount them, but that's the right stud, and you can see how it fits in perfect. It's got the right taper, it's got the 60-degree taper on it, not the ball type. Yeah, all good to go. So I'm just going to temporarily put these ones on because I don't actually have any other 14mm stock wheel nuts, so these are just going to have to go on here until next week. I'm not actually driving the vehicle anyway, until the tyres arrive, and then we can swap them all out. So that will do just for now. Yeah, at least it's ready to go for the tyres. So that pretty much wraps this one up. Bit of a quick one. Also, just an update on the pushrod tubes. They're still not leaking, so I think we're on a winner with those. There's a few people commenting that you know, those JC ones still leak like the others, but I just jumped underneath then and had a bit of a look, and no leaks. So fingers crossed that continues. All right, we'll see you in the next updates, and yeah, cheers. See you guys.